Once upon a time, in the vast wilderness of the northern forests, there lived a young wolf named Arco, who was smaller than most of the pack and often overlooked by his peers. Yet Arco had something no other wolf had at that time: a spirit of courage and an unwavering determination to prove himself. He would wake up every morning before the others, practicing his howls, running faster and sharpening his senses, learning the ways of the forest, hunting small prey, and observing the movements of the bigger animals. The older wolves laughed quietly at him. Some mocked his attempts, while others ignored him completely. Arco felt the sting of rejection and the sharp pang of being unnoticed, but deep in his heart he knew that the path to greatness was never applauded by everyone, and he reminded himself daily that those who laugh today might be the ones who watch in awe tomorrow. As seasons changed, Arco continued to grow stronger and wiser. He learned the rhythm of the forest, the secrets of the streams, and the hidden dens where safety could be found. He also learned patience, realizing that sometimes trying too hard to seek approval led only to disappointment and frustration. He observed his packmates during hunts, noting which wolves cooperated, which ones sought glory for themselves, and which ones would abandon the weak in times of need. These observations became lessons, and Arco absorbed them all silently, storing wisdom like treasures. One winter, a harsh storm swept through the forest, freezing the streams, making prey scarce, and endangering even the strongest wolves. Many of Arco's peers struggled to survive. Some failed to cooperate, and the alpha wolf, though strong and respected, could not reach every corner of the forest in time to guide the young and weak. Arco, however, remembered the skills he had honed, the patience he had cultivated, and the courage that had never wavered. He ventured into areas where others dared not go, locating food, sharing knowledge of safe paths, and protecting those who could not protect themselves. Slowly, wolves who had once ignored or mocked him began noticing his actions. They watched silently as Arco risked his safety to ensure others survived, yet he did not boast. He did not seek praise. He simply acted according to what he believed was right. One evening, after days of relentless snow and hunger, the Alpha called a meeting, expecting a simple recount of survival strategies. But Arco stepped forward and with clarity and confidence shared his findings: how to find hidden food, how to navigate the icy rivers, and how to maintain the strength of the pack in the face of adversity. Some wolves scoffed initially, unwilling to acknowledge that a smaller, once dismissed wolf could have such insight. But slowly, as the Alpha followed his guidance and survival improved for the entire pack, murmurs of respect grew. The older wolves who had mocked him remained silent, yet their eyes reflected a grudging admiration. Arco learned an important lesson: true leadership and courage do not require applause. Recognition is not the goal, impact is. Those who understand may celebrate quietly, others may never acknowledge the effort, and both are acceptable. Months passed, the forest healed from the harsh winter, and Arco continued to demonstrate bravery, saving younger wolves from accidents, teaching them the skills he had learned, always emphasizing perseverance, resilience, and integrity. A new challenge arose when a rival pack approached their territory, larger and stronger, seeking dominance. Fear rippled through Arco's pack, and for the first time some of the older, previously dismissive wolves turned to Arco for guidance. He devised strategies that emphasized cooperation, trust, and courage rather than brute strength. He led reconnaissance missions, communicated signals during hunts and conflicts, and positioned weaker wolves where they could contribute without danger. During the confrontation, the rival pack underestimated the smaller wolves, but thanks to Arco's tactics, the defense was precise and effective. Casualties were minimized, and the rival wolves retreated, leaving Arco's pack safe. Once again, some applauded, many remained indifferent. But Arco did not mind. He had learned to measure success by results, by lives saved, by courage demonstrated, not by who clapped. The young wolves he had protected and taught now looked up to him. Seeking guidance, imitation, and mentorship, Arco continued to cultivate courage in the next generation, understanding that true bravery was infectious and multiplied by teaching others. He also learned humility, realizing that wisdom comes from listening as much as leading, and that mistakes are lessons in disguise. Years passed. Arco became known as the brave wolf of the northern forests, not because everyone celebrated him, but because those who survived Those whose lives were improved knew his worth. He walked through the forest with quiet confidence, never demanding recognition, yet receiving respect from those who mattered most. And he remembered every moment of ridicule, every moment of silence, as fuel that had forged him into a leader of integrity. Arco's story spread throughout neighboring forests, inspiring young wolves to act courageously, to persevere despite lack of applause, and to value impact over recognition. Parents told their pups of his bravery, elders cited his wisdom during pack councils, and even rival packs began acknowledging his cleverness and strategic mind. Arco never sought fame, he never counted the claps, he measured life by courage demonstrated, by kindness extended, and by resilience in the face of adversity. He continued to teach, to act, and to inspire, understanding fully that life would always have those who clapped, those who ignored, and those who doubted. But true fulfillment comes from knowing you acted rightly, courageously, and with purpose. One evening, as the sun set and the forest was bathed in golden light, Arco reflected on his journey from a small, overlooked Volf to a symbol of bravery and wisdom. He realized that the lessons of life were simple yet profound. Perseverance, integrity, courage, and impact outweigh applause, and that every wound, every setback, every moment of being ignored is an opportunity to grow stronger. To prepare for the moment when your actions, not the approval of others, define your legacy. If you feel inspired by Arco's journey, remember that not everyone will clap for you, not everyone will see your worth, but your courage, your persistence, and your impact will speak louder than any applause. This story of the brave Volf reminds us all that true success is measured by the lives you touch, the obstacles you overcome, and the integrity with which you navigate challenges. So stand firm, act courageously, and continue to persevere. Because in the end, the forest-like life rewards those who are brave, diligent, and patient, and while some may never cheer for you, those who matter most will remember, and your legacy will endure far beyond the fleeting approval of the crowd.